Hello and welcome to a new episode of Voice of Crypto. This is a podcast where we talk about Web3, Metaverse, crypto, NFT, and everything. And today we have Indre with us. Indre is the CMO of a new generation kind of brand. And while I was talking to her about her journey, she was telling me how she started the journey. So, Indre, welcome to the podcast, and please share something about you, what you do, what you have done, and how you got into the Web3 environment here.
Yes, hello everyone. First of all, thank you very much for having me here. Honestly, I love speaking about this, and I'm really passionate about it. So I hope I'm gonna be able to give some enlightenment on the topic to your audience. So me myself, I have a background of marketing and copywriting, and I got into industry over 2 years ago, primarily as a copywriter. But then we worked so well with the team, and because of my marketing background, they asked me to step in as CMO. So that was the first project that I got to work with, which was really interesting. I know everything was new. I got exposed to so many different opportunities that I would have never thought I would, And that's why I love Web3 space. Is you just never know where it's gonna take you, and it's all about just going and doing it. And then after a year, I started exploring what's around me, so what's around in London, and I got invitations to different metaverse-related events, and I decided to attend the event at the Parliament. And there was this actually kid, a 9-year-old Mason, the founder and the CEO of the Whiskey Billionaire Club, and he was there with his dad, Ray, and of course, they definitely draw attention. So I memorized them. And then in a couple of weeks, I saw this guy that looked familiar at my local sports club. And, of course, I approached him because you have to take opportunities. And I was like, are you that guy? Like, yeah. And, so long story short, now we're working together on his project, Whiskey Billionaire Club. And I'm the CMO of basically Whiskey Billionaire Club, and we're just building this thing together. And I guess I would like to tell you a little bit about this project and why it's different than any other project that I've seen in the space. I guess I'd like to start that, to reach success in Web3 project, I think that the key is to solve a problem, a real life problem, to kind of be able to see and envision how Metaverse and NFTs will connect with the real life within 1, 2, or 3 years. And that's what we're doing at the Whiskey Club. So we are bridging the gap between young entrepreneurial kids and the industry experts. And we're building a platform where those industry experts will be able to support the kids in achieving their dreams, whether it would be fashion, music, digital art, of course, NFTs, and they help them to reach success in a fun, balanced, and basically a fun and a balanced way. So this is our platform is all about. But in essence, we're building Web3 projects that promote intellectual property and the storytelling. And our main products are the NFT marketplace, kids-friendly NFT marketplace, the Whiskey Academy, which will be the platform where all the kids will be able to learn, and of course the NFT membership, that our NFT collection is the access to the membership. So that is just like to touch very lightly of what I do, and yeah.
I think that's really a very innovative approach of teaching kids, and I think the future is in good hands if they start learning at this stage what probably we learned very late in our lives. The future is really going to be amazing, Indre, here. Great.
No,
So
absolutely.
yeah, sorry, you were saying something.
No, I just want to say that the kids know best, So first we need to listen to them, but also we need to guide them, because this can be a challenging environment. And we're all about that, basically.
Yes. So I and when I talk to all the guests, usually this is a common thread which I have seen across all the guests who have come here, that a lot of people get into Web3 by accident. So it was never a planned event. And usually this has been a journey. And I think your journey is also similar to me. I also come from advertising background, launched a project, and project did well. And then people started approaching saying that, why don't you do? So I think this accident is common between all Web3, and hopefully for the next generation, these guys will know that this is where we want to go rather than
Yeah.
getting into as an accident into
Yeah,
it.
no, I mean, definitely, I can't see anyone a few years ago being like, hey, I want to, be in metaverse industry. No one even knew it existed, even when I was doing my digital marketing degree, like I wasn't sure how I'm going to apply it.
Yeah.
So it's just mind blowing, and just exciting to think that maybe you don't know what's going to, be able, what opportunities will come in the next few years, you just never know, which is so exciting.
Right, right. So as a CMO, Indre, I think the one of the backbones of Web3 has always been communities, and how important these role play. And I think this is how Web3 has been evolving. So what are your insights in terms of building a community, growing a community, and sustaining a community? What is that you think, or what is your mindset when you start these kind of conversations or exercises here?
Well, first of all, so Web3 is all about connecting people and giving them this power of ownership, right? And the Web3 communities are incredibly important in building a future where people are supportive of each other, as that is the main thing in building solid infrastructure to support other people and businesses in transitioning to this new form of society, basically. And I'm more talking about decentralized autonomous organizations. And Web3 is at the center of all of this. And I give the tools for people to really take matters into their own hands. So I just think that, that's my take on Web3 and communities in general. But in terms of building Web3 communities from the marketeer perspective, I mean, I know that I would have to give you probably this magical formula, that solves it all. But honestly, what I've learned that there's no such thing, but the main thing that you should start doing as the starting project, for example, is building the meaningful relationships, building the partnerships, and starting building communities through these relationships instead of spending all your little, budget on marketing campaigns. So it's definitely making real connections, whether it will be virtually or in real life, but it's all about those foundations that you lay, and that's what you build on.
Sure. So Indre, also you, I mean, I was looking at your LinkedIn profile and I saw you have worked with traditional finance brands as well, and moving from a traditional finance brand to a completely new industry. How has your journey been? Did you face any kind of problems, or did you face any kind of challenges in this journey?
Well, I'll be honest with you, like deep down in my heart, I'm not like math wasn't my strong point. Okay. So, but I don't even know how I ended up in Monzo in the DeFi, like in that bank, first of all. But of course, that was really challenging, but I've learned the new concepts, I've learned the ways of working. And for me, it's not even about the finance, but about the innovations, about the new stuff, about learning. So I guess that experience in that type of finance sector gave me confidence to explore, different types of sectors. And that's why, entering this market, okay, it was unknown for me, but I just felt that I can learn, and of course there are many differences because in between the two, but at the same time it's all just a matter of being open-minded and just learning new things.
And I think that's what Web3 is all about. You learn new things every single day. The industry is changing, the technology is changing so fast. So if you are out of touch of people, maybe even in 3 months things would have changed very fast. So
Yeah.
so, so to all the listeners who are listening to it, I think keeping yourself updated of what all is happening is one of the most important tasks. I think not just in Web3, across any industry, but Web3, since it is so fast moving, you have to be updated and you have to always be on your toes to learn new things.
Yeah, agreed.
So, Indre, I mean, as we deep dive into the podcast, what are some of the common myths which about Web3, which you would like to bust right away before we even start the deep dive here?
Well, first of all, what really bothers me is that a lot of people see it as a platform for scams, and they even say that there's lack of security. And, of course, with all these, again, like I've come across so many fake NFT projects, you know, and I actually personally know people who would build these, have these funds raised and then just leave, you know. So it's really painful for me to see that there are cases like this, but also I would love to just bust it as a myth as altogether, you know, because I mean, Web3 and NFTs initially is definitely not coming from a place of a bad place, basically. And, you know, it's all the people in people's hands to make it one way or the other. So I would like to bust the myth that it's a scam, first of all. And the second one, that is just a trend. You know, sometimes if I start telling people about it, it's like, okay, it's a trend, is gonna pass, you know, just let it go. Or the same as now, veganism is just a trend. And I don't even want to get into that topic, but anyway, so it's not a trend and it's not a scam. That's what I would like to confirm.
Great. So moving on to a lighter note, I mean, how obviously your and the company, while I was talking to Indre, the company's CEO is a 9-year-old kid,
Yeah.
which is very good. He knows at this age that what he wants to do. So just to explain a concept of metaverse, how will you explain what is metaverse or Web3 to a layman who's maybe just a 5-year-old kid in simple terms? What would be your definition?
Okay, so, you know, it's a virtual world, okay, that you can enter yourself by the use of an avatar. And you can do the daily stuff, you know, you can work, you can meet clients, you can do gaming, you will be able to do shopping and basically engage in any other forms of entertainment by the help of digital equipment like VR glasses. So I guess, yeah, that's it. Like that would be my most basic thing to explain.
Sure. And I mean, you have been into this space in the NFT, in the Web3, in the metaverse space. Where do you see things happening in the next 5 to 10 years? I mean, if you could see the future, where do you think we are heading towards? What are your, I don't know, maybe 3 predictions which will happen, not from a market or from a price point perspective, but as an effect on human life, economics? How do you think it is going to turn out?
Well, first of all, like I wouldn't hate anything more than like seeing society submerging in this virtual reality, you know, not leaving their rooms and not taking off their glasses, and it's something like from a dystopian movie. But at this point, there is like a slight possibility, you know, that it could be real. But I mean, of course, I trust humanity that we won't go to such extremes because we always find the ways how to balance it out. So I think the metaverse will serve society as another form of expression, you know, and it's another chance to build something beautiful, and of course connect us more, allow people to attend events that they maybe couldn't really go for financial reasons or for physical reasons, you know, if they're in another country, or attend classes remotely, you know, but in metaverse. So yeah, I just feel like it will definitely add to the connecting the world, you know, and bringing a bit more fun into maybe the daily things as education. Yeah, I hope that answered the question.
Yes. And moving on from here, Indre, I mean, what are I would say maybe 2 or 3 good things which you see which are happening in crypto and metaverse space, which could turn out to be a very big thing, because as of now we all are at a very initial stage. We all are just discovering what could be the potential of this technology. So what are 2 things which you are betting on will become big or will grow like anything?
Well, again, about these trends, that a lot of people think that crypto is a trend and, you know, it will just fade away and everyone will forget about it. But I see that, you know, crypto is being more and more widely accepted by official establishments, or, for example, Visa's collaboration with crypto.com, and, you know, Binance cards lets the users to directly pay in crypto. Buy your car almost anywhere in the world, you know, myself included. You know, I go on YouTube, I tap in with my crypto card, and, you know, no need for conversions or anything. So I think this will create even like a more clear flow of money, and will give more accessibility for crypto asset owners as well. You know, like they won't have to hide or like feel you're doing something illegal if you pay something with cryptos, you know. I just feel like it's all merging with the currencies that we have, that we had issued by government. So that's really exciting for me, like this wider use of cryptos. And when it comes to the metaverse, what's exciting is that more and more global brands are exploring the concept of building their own worlds, and some of them aren't that great, as we've seen. I think it was Walmart, but for example, Gucci entering the metaverse means a lot in the fashion world, and whereas all these attempts of metaverse are still pretty basic, like I know that Meta is being destroyed by their world, but you have to start somewhere, and just seeing that all the world is opening up to this idea more and more, it just takes us a step closer to, where we want to be. So yeah, those are the two things.
That's so. So all those who are listening to this podcast or seeing this YouTube, I think we are getting into more insights about Metaverse and Web3 with Indre. So please keep listening, and there are more interesting questions which are coming on our way. And I'll try to extract as much information and knowledge which we can take from Indre's experience in learning about how this whole world is working and how Web3 is evolving here. So there have been a lot of. You spoke about Binance. You spoke about how crypto.com has been partnering with traditional finance institutions as well. But security is always a concern, right? So what are your thoughts in terms of what are the security measures which are required to protect data? And I'm saying data from a privacy issue as well as data for a security. And as you rightly said, there are a lot of scams which are happening in market. So what are your thoughts? How the security measures comes into picture in Web3 and blockchain technology currently?
Yeah. Well, so the blockchain technology in itself, so it offers decentralized, traceable, interchangeable storage of information, which is in essence just, I think it's much more secure already than centralized information vaults controlled by centralized bodies of government, that we don't know what is going on there. But of course, there are other high levels of encryption protections and for each transaction. And exchange that take place on platform, but all these things are beyond my expertise. But what I could say is that previous project that I worked on, Socialog, was the social NFT marketplace. And we dived deeper in the problems within NFT marketplace and security, and let's say copying content, or copying the NFTs. So that's quite an interesting topic. But I guess the main thing is the user verification process, So that's how I imagine the security altogether. If let's say if you join a platform, whether it would be an NFT marketplace or let's say our WizKid billionaires playground, of course there has to be some sort of verification process, maybe involving getting through social media accounts of a person, and just like it's a deep dive to verify the legitimacy if that person, let's say if it's an artist, and if it's that person's art, maybe AI could get involved, or algorithms to check that. But for me, like besides those technological encryptions that I don't understand, I feel like there definitely should be systems in place preventing everything that has been happening without the blockchain, in the real world, all the stealing and scamming and everything. So that's definitely an important topic, but I think it's being addressed. And I think that I know that OpenSea had issues with their verification. I feel like when they started, the security and verification probably wasn't in their first, wasn't on their mind. And now when they have millions of users, it's really difficult to implement those things, for all. So I think that all now new projects that are building now, they're taking that into consideration as a priority. So I'm quite hopeful, and I trust them, to make the right decisions to build a safe space. And of course, especially for us, is very important because we're building for kids, so it has to be 10 times more, and our kids-friendly NFT marketplace. So one of the main things why it's kids-friendly, because it will be like super safe and super secure. Again, I would have to consult my CTO the exact measures we're taking, but it will be very secure.
No, I can understand the vision which you guys have, which talks about making things simpler. And I would say this is just a start when you're trying to create things simple for kids. Who knows, as we go ahead, it'll create mass adoption, and it could be for everybody. I mean, whoever is, I would say, noobs, as they say in industry, who gets into buying NFT could be a ladder to understand NFTs as a category.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely.
Great. So interesting conversations happening with Indre, guys. Keep listening and watching this video. So now we move to the fun part, Indre. This is something which I call as rapid fire questions. So I will give you only 5 seconds. I'll give you 2 options and you have to choose one.
Okay.
So are you ready?
Yeah.
Good. Great. So here we start. Web3 or Metaverse?
Metaverse.
BTC or Ethereum?
BTC?
Is Metaverse fun?
Yeah.
Are Metaverse and Web3 the same thing?
No.
Okay. Is Web3 all hype?
No.
Will Metaverse replace the internet?
No.
Is it the right time for companies to migrate to the Metaverse?
Yes.
How does your portfolio looks like?
I don't understand the question.
Which coins are you holding?
That's the question. Cardano, Shiba Inu,
Wow.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. That's my portfolio.
Any celebrity who you would wish should enter the NFT space?
Emma Watson.
Wow, that's a good one. Do you accept crypto as a payment?
Yeah.
Great.
I
Awesome. So now, as we come to the end of this podcast, I have 2 hypothetical questions for you, Indre. One is, if I could give you a time machine and you could go back 10 years back, what
Years.
would,
Oh my goodness. I would be what? 17.
if you could go, okay, so you have the time machine, you can go 10 years, you can go 5 years. What would you do in Web3 or in crypto, or maybe if you could go back in, I don't know, when Bitcoin was invented, and you have the same knowledge what you have currently, what would you do different?
Yes. So it's interesting that in the question nature, you say 10 years back, but then the industry is so young, that it's like almost pre-metaverse times.
Yeah.
But let's say before I entered the industry, if I would change anything. So since I got here, I was just going with the flow, I had no plan. And as I mentioned, I would just take any opportunity. I feel like I was bold, I was determined. Every day I step out of comfort zone, every single day I do what I would rather not do, but I know that it will take me further. So if I'm being honest, like, I'm pretty happy where it took me. It's pretty incredible that within 2 years, like, I was a speaker at the Metaverse conference, I'm at the parliament, I was at the BAFTAs, and I've got such a great network. So it might like sound a bit not great, but I don't think I would change a lot if I'm being honest.
You are a content person. Good.
Yeah, I am pretty content. Yeah.
That's good. Now taking to the next level, if the same time machine is with you and you can go in future 10 years, where do you see yourself?
Oh my God, that's a difficult one. So in 10 years, I would be, well, I see myself definitely, when you just said that, I just see myself as this really nice avatar strolling around in this metaverse world. Honestly, that's the first thing that I see. I feel like the metaverse will be definitely almost fully.
But this will happen. This will not take you 10 years. It will happen maybe in a year. It will not take that long.
Okay. Well, I mean, maybe, but I'm talking like Matrix level. I'm talking about that sort of.
Right.
Yeah, no, but I'm gonna stay in the industry. I'm probably gonna have my own project going, and yeah, I mean, it's a long time, and this industry changes so quickly. And if that happened in 2 years, took me from where I was to here, I'm even scared to think where it's gonna take me in 10 years.
Wow, that's a good start to see where it will lead you. And I mean, so you spoke about your fast growth, fast journey in last 2 years. A lot of listeners who listen to this podcast or are on YouTube channel, they are quite young, let's say between 18 to 20 to 23 years old, what advice you would like to give them if they want to get into Web3 industry? Specifically, let's say, since you come from marketing background, what advice you would like to give these people? What would be your top lessons that they should also follow?
Well, I guess I would start from listening. I would start from observing, I would pick the top people, even globally, then listen to their podcast, just so you are a bit more comfortable with the terms and, just so you know what is happening. Of course, like Gary Vee is the person, so I would just probably sit and listen to him for hours and hours. But in terms of how you should approach everything, so yeah, you just have to be open-minded, you have to be persistent, and you have to enjoy it. If you're gonna overthink everything, it will stop you from doing anything, so you're just gonna have to dive into it. And basically you have to know that you can ask questions, because also what I've learned, no one is expert in this area so far, everything is new. So you should just know that you can always ask questions, know that everyone really doesn't know what they're doing, so don't feel intimidated, and yeah, relax and just enjoy. But yeah, also networking is very, very important, so meet people, and if you find quality people that you like in the industry, you stick with them. That's another thing that I would definitely suggest.
You spoke about listening to podcasts. So, which are your favorite podcast or YouTube channels or learning, resources in the industry apart from also crypto, obviously?
Yeah, apart from Voice of Crypto, okay, I'll be really, really honest with you, okay, because I'm so deep in this, and I'm also a mom to a 2-year-old. I myself don't really have time to listen to it, so.
So Gary is the one.
So the Gary Vee is one, but I don't even know how the podcast is called. I couldn't tell you, but yeah, just listen to Gary Vee and the Voice of Crypto, and you're gonna be sorted in life.
That's a free advice for everybody who's listening to this. Awesome. So I mean, you have been in the industry. How do you see the adoption of crypto, Web3, and the culture which is changing in last 2 years since you moved in UK specifically, and in the world? What changes have you seen in last few months or years as an adoption to mass awareness about crypto and Web3?
Um, well, I mean, again, Web3 wouldn't be here if there wouldn't be need for it. So we all see that Web2 is not enough anymore, and people are naturally looking for more innovative ways to monetize their assets. I think, initially that's where it all started, and I think it's almost mostly to do probably with the artists. At least that's from my perspective, because I see that the biggest push in the industry is from the artist side, because again, they want to monetize their art in more than one way. So, they want to make sure that they get those royalties. So in terms of that, that's the biggest kind of push in this transition that I've seen. But for me, I'm talking. I'm not the customer, I'm the one kind of building that. So I understand that my perspective is probably different than, from the people who are using it. So their transition is different. For me, it just happened,
Right.
Yeah. I hope I answered that question.
Great. Say so. Really nice talking to you, Indre. And uh, every guest who comes on my podcast, I ask them, and I show them what is the meaning of Voice of Crypto. So Voice of Crypto is something which what we feel as a publication house is everybody has a voice, everybody has an opinion, and it's not just about my voice, your voice. Everybody is Voice of Crypto. So as an ending thought, I would like you to say that you are Voice of Crypto. Everybody is a Voice of Crypto.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, thank you so much. Honestly, I really enjoy this. I mean, I'm happy to discuss more topics with you. And yeah, it was just a great experience, and I hope I gave some good insights.
Sure. Thank you for coming on this podcast today, and really wonderful meeting you and understanding your insights and your journey in the Web3 space.